On this episode of Takedown,
red Toyota Corolla just pulled in.
This man is looking for sex with a 12-year-old girl.
Made it into the lobby.
But the Cyber Guardian Task Force is not going to let that happen. And neither will I.
Matthew Bongine walked right into the lobby, said to the clerk he was going to meet someone. What he didn't say was that he wanted to meet a 12-year-old girl.
And my interview with him will be shocking in every way.
Now, why does somebody go on a site called Dad and Daughter Sex, man?
Hey everyone, Chris Hansen here. I hope you're enjoying this free full episode of Takedown. But there's something else you need to know. We have almost 100 new episodes on my streaming crime network, watch TruBlu.com. Use the code YouTube24 for half off your first month, or YouTube Year for $20 off a full year. We'll see you soon on TruBlu.
These are the people who are online trying to groom your children.
It was the news conference heard around the country.
But every one of them talked to Chris Hansen.
My team and I were embedded with the Polk County, Florida Sheriff's Office and Sheriff Grady Judd for their latest child predator operation, Cyber Guardian 2, where they arrested 13 men looking for a sexual encounter with an underage child. And on this episode of Takedown in the Sunshine State, things are going to go dark quickly for 46-year-old Matthew Bongine.
Matthew traveled to our undercover operation thinking he was going to be with a 12-year-old girl.
But let's start at the beginning.
This guy is in his 40s, and he's been chatting on one of the social media platforms with both a mother and her 12-year-old who are saying they're involved in this certain lifestyle. And he wants to meet the girl and go swimming, but there's already been a sexually charged conversation that constitutes a felony. Now we just gotta see if he shows up.
The man coming to meet a 12-year-old girl for sex is Matthew Bongine from Hemet, California, more than 3,000 miles away. While in Polk County for job training, he engages a Cyber Guardian chatter posing as a mother who is wanting to teach her 12-year-old daughter about sex. And Bongine was hooked.
May I ask what brings you by daddy-daughter?
I grew up in the lifestyle. You?
Being a typical male, I like younger girls, LOL. Were you hoping to raise daughter in the lifestyle?
I just want someone who will treat her right.
May I ask how old she is?
12.
Well, I have not been with a younger girl, but would like to.
Bongine then starts chatting with a decoy posing as the 12-year-old daughter and even expresses his apprehensions.
I would like to be sexual with a young girl, but I have not done so yet.
I'm 12. Is that okay?
Yes. If you're okay with being with me. I was a little afraid to meet and find a cop behind the door.
I don't get it. But Kay, we're going swimming.
Maybe I could come by and meet you at the pool if you would like that.
That's cool.
I packed my swimsuit, LOL. Maybe more after swimming.
Driving the operation is Sheriff Grady Judd, a force to be reckoned with when it comes to taking down child predators.
We're going to go after this predator, this child pedophile, with a vengeance. And we're going to use every tool that the law allows. In fact, personally, I think the law should allow us to do even more than we do, because there's no holes barred on someone that will attack your child, that will abduct your child, that will rape your child, and subsequently murder your child so they can't come back and testify later. And those evil deviants are out there every day. So if we don't catch them through undercover operations, they will slink around long enough until they find the child. Anybody that criticizes us legally going after child predators in Polk County vernacular is a nut, is a crazed nut.
Hey, Chris? Yeah. Hey, come here.
Bongine is on his way. So it's time for me and the Cyber Guardian team to gear up and get into position.
We're still gonna do a quick dry run of the pool area.
Should be allegedly some type of red Toyota, possibly a Corolla. We've already got charges on him. I've got a picture. He has been identified.
All right, let's gear up, stay tight when we get ready to roll.
Bonjean doesn't waste any time getting to the hotel.
Red Toyota Corolla just pulled in. Did a circle, headed back towards 27. Looks like he's pulling into the entrance now.
The deputies and I are hiding in the shadows around the perimeter, watching for his every move.
He's made it into the lobby.
Oh, nice, 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 nice.
But at this check-in, he won't be getting a motel room. Instead, he'll be getting a jail cell.
Get your hands down, shirts off, down. Get up there, get down.
The Cyber Guardian task force swiftly subdues Bonjean and gets him into cuffs. But he won't be swimming with a 12-year-old girl tonight. Instead, he'll be face-to-face with me.
Matthew Bonjean walked right into the lobby, said to the clerk he was going to meet someone. What he didn't say was that he wanted to meet a 12-year-old girl and maybe her mother.
Bonjean is transported to the sheriff's office for booking, where I get the chance to get inside the mind of this child predator. His admissions are disturbing and chilling.
Go have a seat right over there, okay?
Hey, Matt. How you doing?
Oh, not too great.
What happened? How'd you get here tonight?
Number of wrong decisions.
Number of wrong decisions. Take me through it. Help me to understand.
I start with the basics, try to establish a rapport.
I mean, you're here on business, right? In town.
Right.
Conference.
Job training.
What made you get online and go to that site?
Because Matt's not going anywhere and he seems eager to speak to me, I take my time to get every detail.
I mean, I know this is not a pleasant situation for you. I'm just trying to understand how you got into this tonight, how it started. We know how it ended, right?
Yes.
How did it start?
I don't know.
You went into the social media platform and you're chatting with somebody who you thought was a mother.
Correct.
And her daughter who's 12, right?
Yes.
And there was talk about sex involving the 12-year-old girl, right?
Correct.
Okay. I mean, specific talk about sex. And then you traveled from the hotel in Orlando to the hotel here.
Yes.
Because you were going to go for a swim with the girl?
Yes.
But you were hoping for more than a swim.
Not initially, no.
Okay. So you're how old, Matt? 40?
46.
46.
Basically, I was coming in to see if you guys.
You're going to see if it was going to be me.
Yeah.
Now, you mentioned in the chat about my predator investigations and me by name.
Yes.
What made you ask if this was a Chris Hansen predator investigation?
I've actually seen some of them.
You've seen my shows on the TV?
Yes, sir.
And do you like the shows?
You know, I think that's not me.
You watch the shows,
right?
My predator investigations, and you say, that's not me. Do you ever make fun of those guys?
Yes.
Now you are one of those guys.
Yes.
Explain to me how this happens, Matt.
He might be the creepiest fan I've ever met.
I wish I could.
But do you see what I'm saying? I mean, help me to understand. Everybody asks me all the time, who are these guys that show up in your investigations? And I try to explain it the best I can. But here's a situation where you're a professional. You have a good job. You're in town getting training for that job.
Yes.
And yet now you're in one of my investigations.
Yes.
How does that happen, Matt?
Lapse in judgment.
A lapse in judgment. That's an understatement, man.
Yes, it is.
Have you done this before?
No.
So
On this business trip, you just decide you're going to get online. What was the site you were on?
Dad and daughter sex.
Dad and daughter sex. Now, why does somebody go on a site called Dad and Daughter Sex, Matt?
Generally, you would think that they would be interested in younger.
You'd think they'd be interested in younger girls.
Yes.
And that's what you were interested in, is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. You wanted to have sex with a 12-year-old girl.
Yes.
Okay. And you're going to try and tell me, Matt, that you had never done this before.
Correct.
That's hard for me to believe, Matt.
Never met.
You never met, but you've talked to...
Alleged. Yes.
You've talked to other people who you thought were underage girls to have sex. And how was this supposed to work? Were you going to pay the girl? Were you going to pay the mom?
No.
Well, how was it going to play out? I mean, what was your end game here?
This was just supposed to be a get to know you kind of.
A get to know you with a 12-year-old girl at a pool at a hotel.
And the mom would be, yeah.
And the mom. So did you want to have sex with the girl, sex with the mom and the girl?
It was going to be just the girl, yes.
Just the girl.
Yes, the story was that she supposedly had a fiance and she was trying to set the girl up with somebody.
Right. So the mom had a fiance, so you couldn't have sex with the mom.
Right.
Do you think this is funny, man?
No, sir.
But you wanted to have sex with the 12-year-old girl, the daughter.
Yes.
How does that even work? I mean, you're a 46-year-old man. How are you going to have sex with a 12-year-old girl?
I don't even know.
You don't even know. You have oral sex, intercourse. What was your plan? You were just up for whatever was going to happen with the 12-year-old girl. I mean, don't let me put words in your mouth. You tell me.
Like I said, first time meeting, or attempting to meet, is more, I guess, to see if I would. And if it actually was, and if I even could go through with it.
Has this been a fantasy of yours for some time?
Yes.
And where does that come from?
You make excuses. I'm not laughing at.
I know it's an anxious situation. I'm not forgiving it by any stretch, but I understand that you're.
When you psychoanalyze yourself, let's say, there's many factors that leads into the fact that nerd in high school, virgin until I was 20. You know, did I miss out on something? And then that builds up in the back of your head, and then leads to this.
Leads to this. But what I don't understand, Matt, is the gap between being a virgin in high school and thinking you've missed out on something and being a 46-year-old man trying to have sex with a 12-year-old girl. That's rape.
Yes.
By any definition. So what do you think would have happened had a 12-year-old girl been there instead of me, my crew, and the Polk County Sheriff's Office?
Tonight, nothing.
But long term,
if
she let you,
and if I let myself.
Did you bring a swimsuit?
Yes.
You did. So you were going to at least go for a swim with a 12-year-old girl.
Yes.
And what was this girl's name?
Sarah.
Sarah. And you saw a picture?
Yes.
And that picture attracted you?
Yes.
Right. Aroused you?
Yes.
Okay. So you would have had sex with her if you had the opportunity at some point?
Possibly.
Possibly. Are you a married man, Matt?
No, sir.
Have you ever had kids?
No.
Do you have nieces and nephews?
Yes.
What if somebody did this to one of your nieces or nephews?
It would not be appreciated.
It would not be appreciated. So how are people supposed to view this? I mean, help me with the mathematics here, Matt.
I wish I could.
I have a hard time believing this is the first time you've tried to have sex with somebody who's underage.
This is the first time I've attempted to meet one.
I mean, why does somebody go on daddy's daughter's having sex in the first place, Matt? There's only one reason you go there, right?
Right.
It's not out of curiosity. It's because you want to do something with an underage girl. And based upon everything I know, having interviewed a whole lot of guys in your situation, it's not the first time for most of them. So explain to me why I should believe you when you tell me that.
This is my first time.
You could see why a fellow like me would call bullshit on that, though. If you were me, would you believe that?
I'm not sure.
Okay. So what should happen to you, Matt?
What should happen, what I want to happen, should happen, is I should be charged.
With a crime?
With a crime.
Of attempting to have sex with a minor. And that's what's going to happen, isn't it?
That's what I've been told, yes.
What made you ask the decoy if this was Chris Hansen and a predator investigation?
The bring condoms remark.
She asked you to bring condoms?
Yes.
And what made you think that?
That's an additional step to show intent.
Right. And how did you learn that? From watching my shows?
Yes.
Did you ever think there was a possibility you'd be walking into one of my shows?
Hoping not, no.
Probably not, or hopefully not?
Hopefully not.
Now you're in the show.
Now I'm in the show, yes.
You're one of those guys.
Yes.
What do you say to people who are going to see this?
Stay offline.
Stay offline, or don't try to have sex with underage kids?
That goes in, yes. That goes without saying, yes. I guess it goes with saying.
And a lot of people are going to see this and say, lock him up and throw away the key.
Right.
And I guess what I'm looking for from you is...
Commenting circumstance, something.
Tell me. I mean, everybody asks me, who are these guys?
I have no answer.
So you can't even tell me?
No, sir. And I have no rationale.
Were you at all apprehensive when you drove up to the hotel? Did you have any thought that this might be an investigation? Either one of mine or law enforcement?
No.
You thought you had a green light?
I guess you could say that, yes.
For daddy-daughter sex. How long has this been a fantasy for you, Matt?
I guess you could say off and on 15 years.
Have you ever seen a therapist about it? Have you ever sought help for it?
Yes.
So you've gone to therapy?
Yes.
Did that help you?
For 8 years.
And then what happened?
The girlfriend that I had that pushed me into therapy, she passed away last year.
Okay.
And I guess you could say I relapsed.
You relapsed. And when you say you had this girlfriend who pushed you into therapy, had you shared these fantasies with her?
Yes. We actually met there.
Was she younger than you?
No, she was actually older.
But she engaged in this role-playing fantasy with you? And that was
to an extent, yes.
To an extent. But she saw that it was
wrong, yes.
And she said, you got to get therapy.
Yes.
And you did.
Correct.
And for 8 years, you...
As they say, the straight and narrow.
Straight and narrow. Were you guys thinking about getting married, or?
Yeah, I had proposed.
You had proposed, and did she say yes?
Yes. But I also found out when she did pass away that she also had been lying to me.
She had been lying to you?
Yes.
About what?
She was actually 14 years older than she said. When we met online, the role playing as you were was that she had a daughter, and she never actually really did have one.
So what drew you to her was that she had a daughter?
Sort of.
And how old was the daughter?
18.
18. And so your whole deal was that you wanted to be with her and the 18-year-old daughter. Is that correct?
Yes. Then she, I guess, she, saw that was wrong, of course, and made the role play or the story that the daughter went to college, was in Milwaukee, and then did like a year in Italy, and then became estranged and never heard from again.
Right. So she never told you that she didn't have a daughter. She
Right.
just
never met the daughter. Yeah, because she didn't have one daughter, but yet never talked on the phone to the supposed daughter.
So you both lied.
Correct.
So it really wasn't as traumatic as you make it out to be. The fact was you stopped going to therapy and you got off the straight and narrow. Is that fair?
After she died and I found yes.
Right. But the stuff that she was lying about doesn't reflect well on you anyway.
No, it does not.
Okay. So that's kind of a fake trauma. A little bit. You were lying to each other.
Yes.
While Bonjean claims he's not done this before, his story about his late fiancée and her alleged daughter makes me think otherwise.
So if you had not gotten caught tonight, Matt, where was this going?
If it was, as you say, then would have gone swimming, met the mom and the daughter.
This was headed towards you trying to have sex with a 12-year-old girl. There's no doubt about it, right?
No.
That's the intent. Well, I appreciate you talking to me. I know it's a tough situation you're in, but I appreciate you opening up, all right?
Yes, sir.
All right. These fellas are going to want you again.
Matthew Bonjean was arrested and charged with traveling to meet a minor for sex, soliciting sex with a minor, use of a two-way communication device to commit a felony, and attempted lewd battery.
No matter how many predators I interview, I never get used to the experience. Partly it creeps me out, partly I'm curious for all the reasons you guys know. You've watched my investigations in the past. And here again, we've got a guy who says this is the first time he's actually traveled to meet a child in person. Even Matt, the predator, admitted to me that that would be hard to believe.
What was shocking to me about Matthew Bonjean was that he almost seemed excited during my interview with him.
Because he was a fanboy. These folks are not wired like normal people. The, if you will, the hunt of the child, the rush of the hunt, the thrill of the hunt electrifies them. These people are very dangerous because of that animalistic hunt that they have for children.
We'll continue to keep you updated on the case of fanboy Matthew Bonjean. To watch more episodes of Takedown, head over to WatchTruBlu.com.